And welcome back, everyone. So this is the final step. This is the road to success. And this step here, it's a little more tedious than the other 6 steps because this step here, you are actually evaluating yourself of where you find your freight. And there's more things to consider as if you're a company driver, you have to consider company culture, driver managers and dispatchers, quality of life, home time, which is the same category, and also driver pay, revenue, income, however you want to look at it. And if you're a company driver, you have to really consider your company culture and what kind of company you're with. How are they with their equipment? How are they with the open door policies? How are they overall with the drivers? And what is the word going on between the drivers and what's going on with the company? It's always important to keep your ears open and find out what's the hearsay about the company. 2, driver managers and dispatchers. So many drivers, managers, and dispatchers, they tell drivers what they want to hear, they mislead them. And this raises a lot of emotion and stress when truck drivers get stuck in facilities overnight while the dispatcher, driver, manager, they go home to their families. And that raises a lot of stress for truck drivers, which conflicts with them evaluate themselves of finding that leadership because if they can't find closure there and good communication, they're not going to find closure when they evaluate themselves. It's going to make them a wreck. So it's really important to find yourself with a company that has a good driver managers, good dispatchers, where a company trains them to take care of the drivers and dispatch them with integrity and not just with throwing them to the wolves or just winging it, okay? And quality of life, okay? Quality of life, home time. It's really important to consider a company that gives you home time. I'm sorry, you cannot spend 4 and 6 weeks on the highway and to come home and make it up in 4 or 5 days and go do it again. It's going to cost you a lot of problems with your family. It's going to cost you a lot of headache. You really, unless you have a family with you and you're out on the road all the time, that's one thing. When you have a family, it's home, children, a wife, husband, you really cannot spend that time away from home and then come home in 4 or 5 days and expect to have a really strong family culture at the home because you're not because they're not going to know you enough. You need more time. So make sure you have with the company, you're good with the company, and that's going to give you the time you need to spend with your families, birthdays, holidays, time for you because you really need that time. And last but least, you need to evaluate a company and how they pay you. If you're going to show great leadership and integrity and due diligence and self-composure and those first 6 steps by evaluating yourself and becoming more efficient and safer, that means you're going to be making that company more money because you're doing everything you're supposed to be doing as a trucker. So in return, that trucker needs to compensate you, that trucking company needs to compensate you for your hard work. And if they cannot do that, then you need to find yourself a company that's going to pay you for the work that you're putting in because it's not easy to be a trucker. And I tell you, if you start doing that and making this a habit and keeping that first full circle going around, once you get that load delivered, evaluate yourself off each and every step. Keep doing this. Keep doing this on a daily basis. And when you start coming to a place where you can't get yourself an 8, then you need to find the resources of why you can't get to an 8. If it's something you're doing, make the corrections. If it's something within your company, talk to human resources. Just don't let it go. Don't walk away. Don't quit. Communicate. The more communication we can bring into trucking, the better it's going to be for truck drivers and the better it's going to be for trucking companies. It's a win-win for all. So I hope you enjoyed this course and please sign up and leave me any comments and you guys drive safe.